What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your Bellator 257 main event and co-main event breakdown, including my full card picks. A good card from Bellator. Really can't wait for it. Some really good fights. Paul Daley's on the card. Saba Hamasi's on the card. I think even Pedro Cavallo is on the card. The guy that contended for the 145 belt, fought Patricio Pivot, got knocked out. So yeah, decent card, some decent guys on here, and obviously Nemkov, Corey Anderson, Phil Davis, uh, you know a lot of a lot of guys are on here, but I can't wait for it. But yeah, I'll give you guys my picks. We start off the card with Raymond Daniels versus Peter Sonic. I got Raymond taking this by second round TKO. Raymond kind of messed up in this fight by kicking this dude in the nuts, bro. I felt so bad for this dude, man. But this is the rematch, and I think Raymond gets it done. Next fight. Next up on the card, we got Julius Anglicus versus Gregory Millard. I gotta go Julius Anglicus. I am taking Julius by decision. Next up in the next fight, Steve Murray versus Sean Asher. I got Steve Murray by second round submission. Then coming up, Sal Rogers versus Maz Barnell. I got Barnell by decision. Pedro Cavallo versus J.J. Wilson. This is an important fight for Pedro. He's coming off that knockout loss to Pichu's Pitbull. J.J. He's also coming off. He's 7-0 undefeated. Seems like a good opportunity for both guys. I'm pretty sure Pedro's ranked pretty high in the featherweight rankings for Bellator. So this is a good fight for JJ. But I got Pedro Cavallo getting this done by decision using his output, he does keep his chin in the air, but, Pitbull hits hard, and I don't think JJ has that kind of power, but he could stop him. Next fight, Julia Budd versus Diana Silva. I gotta go Julia Budd via that, putting that gut on her, using her wrestling, her clinch, and getting this done. Julia is a former champion. This girl is like 9-5. I think Julia gets this done. And Victor Nemkov versus Carl Abskine. Victor Nemkov has a record of 30-7-1. No disrespect to Carl. He's fighting out of Sweden. He's 10-3. I gotta take Nemkov by decision. Going into the main card, Gregory Brazilian, I hope I said his name right, versus Demarcus Jackson. I gotta go Jackson by decision. Lance Gibson Jr. versus Marcus Ruin. I think Marcus Ruin is getting this done by decision. Then we got a female fight. Veta Artang versus Desarians. Y'all know me. Whenever I see a female fight, I gotta go decision. I'm taking Yans by decision. One of the feature fights on the card, Paul Daly versus Saba Hamasi. This is a really, really interesting fight. Saba Hamasi has done his thing in Bellator. I think he's on a 3-fight win streak. He's been doing really, really good. Beat Curtis Melinder. Had a really crazy kind of flying knee knockout in his last fight, but has shown an ability to wrestle and grapple and do what he basically got to do to win fights. Paul Daly, obviously, I think this is his last fight, has legitimate knockout power. We all remember from his wars with fucking Nick Diaz and stuff like that. The guy can crack. So this is really, really important. But I gotta go. I'm taking Paul Daly by second round knockout. And the biggest reason I'm doing that is because, man, I remember what Abdul Razak Hassan did to this guy twice. He doesn't respond well to big power. And Curtis Melinder is a good fighter, but he doesn't have, like, power. So, Paul Daly cracks. Just look at his record. Fucking 42-17-2 versus 15-8. It's levels, right? And next up in the co-main event, Corey Anderson versus Davidson Flan Shamirodov. Man, That was hard to say. um, this is a good fight. I like Corey Anderson. Shmurdov is a good fighter. Obviously, he's making his debut. He's a former champion, ABC, not ABC, ACB. That's what it's called. Really good promotion. I respect them. I mean, legitimate guys, man. Corey Anderson, had a successful Bellator debut. Now is going into this tournament, motivated, hungry. I've been a really big fan of Corey, man. I've always really liked him, man. I've always kind of rooted for him a lot. But Shmurdov is a legitimate guy. He's 18-5-1. Corey's 14-5, right? So we see the differences in experience. But Corey, I mean, he's a different kind of grinder. Shmurdov, obviously, he's competed at different levels. And he's actually he does have 5 round experience, but there's a difference between 5 round experience between top level talent in Bellator, and he's fighting a guy like Corey Anderson, who is a former top 5 UFC guy, right? So there's a difference between fighting guys that are that have been the best in the world in their promotion, right? Than fighting other guys in a local, not local, but in a regional pro promotion, and it's just there's a difference. Corey was really close to becoming the #1 contender for the UFC title. He does actually have a win over Jan Blachowicz. People forget that. They're 1-1, so it'd be interesting to see how a trilogy would go. That was the last time I picked against Jan. I picked Corey Anderson to beat Jan Blachowicz, and I ate dust. Corey's chin is always super suspect. But Corey in his last fight proved that his wrestling is really good. Now, Shmurdov has good wrestling and has really good power, and I can see him giving, Corey a good fight, a really good fight. But Corey does have the reach advantage in this fight. I think Corey's going to use his jab, and he's going to set up his takedowns and get it done. And I think Corey gets this done by decision. I think he's just going to be a better grinder. I think people forget, man, there's a reason why his nickname is Overtime, man. His gas tank is crazy, and I don't think Shmurdov has ever fought a guy with a really good gas tank like that. But in the main event, Vladimir Nemkov versus Phil Davis. Awesome fight here. I want to say I'm a big Phil Davis fan, right? I like Mr. Wonderful, but I think Mr. Wonderful is going to lose today, man. This kid, Nemkov, is on another level. When I saw the first fight, I was just shocked on how he was out wrestling this Penn State stud, this collegiate stud, and, Phil. And, I mean, the first fight was close. Phil, he did good in the last round, but obviously, in my humble opinion, Nemkov won 2-1. And I think one of the things that goes into Phil's favor is that Nemkov faded in the first fight, and there's a potential he could fade going into the championship rounds. This is a 5-round fight. But I think Nemkov, he didn't pace himself properly, and that's why it happened. And I think Phil is going to give him hell, man. I think Phil will win rounds in this fight. He will give this guy hell. He's not going to make it an easy fight. He's not going to just go out there and let him take his orange juice or whatever. He's not going to let him come in his house and take his orange juice. That's what I'm basically saying. But Nemkov, I think, is just a different breed. He's a different level. I mean, his striking is great. His wrestling is good. He's just good everywhere, man. The kid is solid, man. He's literally, I mean, world class, man. I truly believe he could go in the UFC and give problems to those guys. Man, what he did to Ryan Bader was amazing. We saw how the Bader and Phil Davis fight went. Bader got the better of Phil. So I think I think Nemkov gets this done by decision. Phil's tough. Phil's stylistically really good for this matchup. He has a chance, y'all. I think he really has a chance to shock the world here. But I gotta go Nemkov by decision. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Also, do not forget to follow me on my Instagram, follow me on my Twitter. All those links will be down in the description. If you're new, subscribe. Go click the notification button, like, comment, and share. And let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all, and goodbye.